Hello, Boomi fans, and welcome to Palo Alto, California. My name's Savannah Peterson. Very excited to be bringing you an exclusive preview of Boomi World 2025 just around the corner. Here to join me is the ineffable Alison, coming to us from Vancouver, Canada today. Alison, thank you so much for taking the time.
Hey, Savannah, thanks for having me.
My pleasure. I got to tell you before we get started, I had such a good time at Boomi World 2024. I was a little biased in lobbying to be able to join you all again here at 2025. Cannot wait for the event in Dallas. For those who may not be as experienced with Boomi Worlds as you and I, what can people expect?
Well, listen, Boomi World is really an event, a premier event for business people to come and learn all about integration, automation, and of course, AI agent management, API management, and data management. For us, Boomi has changed a lot over the last 12, 18 months. We've expanded our portfolio and we're incredibly excited to really talk to our customers and partners and prospects about all of the things that they can now do with our portfolio.
I love that. I mean, it's been so fun getting to watch and cover you, particularly since the last Boomi World. You've had a real big trajectory. This is poised to be the largest Boomi World ever, correct? Lots of partners, lots of sponsors, lots going on.
Yeah, it will for sure be our biggest and best Boomi World ever. And obviously, we're really excited to see you and everybody else in Dallas. We have over 250 partners attending. We have sponsor showcases. We have 50 plus breakout sessions, pre-conference training, customer success stories. I mean, you name it, we're going to have it at Boomi World. And we're incredibly focused on delivering a great experience for everybody who attends the event, not only to learn, but also engage and interact, right? We want them to meet our executives. We want them to hear from our product experts. And we want people to really understand what Boomi's doing, partially because we're very proud of it, and also because we think it's incredibly important to their overall business success moving forward.
Yeah, absolutely. You can tell that there's a serious commitment to community focus within the entire Boomi ecosystem. It shows in the energy of the attendees. It shows in the wonderful leadership that I've had the privilege of speaking to on your team. And it certainly makes its way through the entire ecosystem of partners and folks that are benefiting from your solutions. 1,200 people expected to attend here in Dallas. Who's coming? Give us a snapshot of that.
Yeah, it'll be an amazing group, obviously consisting of a ton of our biggest and most important customers. We have a range of people from executives, through the organization, and a very good mix of companies from Fortune 1000, across industries, government, education, etc. But we also have, a really good list of analysts, media, and as I mentioned, we couldn't do this without our partners. So we're super excited to have not only our partner sponsors, but our partner attendees, because they play an incredibly important role in engaging with our customers and helping in Boomi's overall success and growth.
Absolutely. What you're touching on is one of the things that, as an analyst, I've been most passionate about right now. The winners of the future and of this new revolution are 100% going to be the ecosystem players. It's going to be the folks who brought their friends along the way and were very thoughtful about scaling together, integrating together, and making sure that, I mean, especially given what y'all do, making sure that there's great cross-team collaboration and co-innovation happening. I'm very excited to help y'all tell some of those stories. I think when people think about those of us who go to many business conferences a year, sometimes they wonder if it's just hanging out and listening to famous people talk and then networking and maybe having, a beverage or some snacks with our colleagues. But there's a lot more to it. And one of the things that I want to dive in a little bit more, you mentioned all of those breakout sessions and those workshops in addition to the keynotes and the general talk track. What are some of the takeaways and learnings that you're anticipating the community will get from Boomi World 2025?
Yeah, so if you can bear with me a moment to do a little bit of a plug for Boomi, when you think about where we are in the technology world with the explosion of AI and all of the advancements that we're seeing, Boomi is incredibly uniquely positioned. We're at the intersection of AI agents, enterprise data, and business processes. Um, Everyone coming will know that we really founded the iPaaS category, and we have now bridged what was a somewhat artificial divide between iPaaS, APIM, and data integration. And we are the first iPaaS vendor to deliver AI agents as well as AI agent lifecycle management. And so we're super excited to bring people together and really to understand how we are positioning our customers to take advantage of where the world is going. And so, to your point, obviously, you're going to hear from our chairman and CEO, Steve Lucas, who, if you haven't heard speak before, it's an experience. He's exceptional.
He
Our
is.
chief product and technology officer, Ed Makowski. But more than that, you're going to hear from our product experts. You're going to hear from technology experts and from our customers themselves who are going to talk about how they're using Boomi and all of the innovations and the expansions we've done to really power their business. And then last but not least, obviously to your point about having a snack and a drink,
Mhm.
we will be delivering great opportunities for networking with peers, partners, and industry leaders. Big part of the value of conferences like this is connecting with people who are in similar businesses to you or similar positions to you. They're trying to solve similar problems as you are. And so there absolutely will be great networking opportunities and a great, experience. And then last but not least, as is always the case in events like this, we're really excited to talk about who our guest keynote speakers will be. We're incredibly honored to welcome Olympian and Paralympian gold medalists, Tara Davis Woodhall and Hunter Woodhall, the Woodhalls, for those of you who followed the Olympics, who are both gold medalists in Paris and really just have an amazing story, both in their athletic prowess, but also their personal relationship, the impact that they've had on the world around them. And so we're super excited to be talking to them.
I think that's just a further illustration of the company's culture around putting the human first and being thoughtful about the human. I'm personally hoping I can sneak into that session depending on our broadcast schedule, just because I think it'll be really lovely. And to your point, Steve's an incredible speaker. We've also had him on the show and looking forward to it. Staying on Steve for a second, he recently just wrote a book to this effect, all about the human element of AI-driven transformation. I think that this is so critical. I mean, tying in what we were talking about earlier with the executives thinking about this human angle. But I'm very curious, for you on the event planning side, I would imagine you've thought a lot about the human experience and architected that for conference attendees.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, we have all been to, what feels like many of these events, right? And on the one hand, you want to make sure that you hit all of the key points of people's expectations. You want to have, great learning opportunities, solid breakout sessions. They want to hear from the voice of the customer. But we also want to make sure that it's in a venue and with surrounding experiences that allow them to really immerse themselves in the technology. So we're going to have some very interesting announcements. We're going to have some very interesting experiences on the show floor that I'm really excited about because they're going to bring technology to life. But to your point, they're also going to bring the human part of this to life. And so we really are excited on some of the things the team has done um, that I think are going to give the attendees a really great opportunity to interact with us, with the technology, and with each other.
You know, you're touching on another thing that I think is so core to Boomi's prowess is you're very good at showing and not telling. And I think that's a really refreshing, we're all at a stage right now, particularly within this AI conversation, where we're over the hype. You can tell companies are significantly over the hype. They're here for the ROI. They want to see practical applications that are already working at scale. And I personally can't wait to see some of those applications. I realize you can't tease too many of the secret and exciting announcements that are in the pipeline. However, can you give us a little bit of an overview, even at a high level, of the industries or some of the spaces that attendees and those watching our broadcast might get to learn a little bit about?
Yeah, I think I think there's two places that are most new and exciting for us, right? We're really going to double down on the opportunity and experience of agents and the agentic proliferation that we're seeing here. And to your point about Boomi being about sort of showing versus telling, we were not only the first to come out from an iPass perspective with agents, but we have over 33,000 agents already being used by our customers today. And so we really want to give people a front row seat to how those are being used and also the opportunities of the future. What kind of agents will deliver, the benefit and the hyper productivity that is kind of the promise of AI. So that's a really big area of focus for us. The other is you're going to see a big focus on the concept or the importance of automation. right? So at the end of the day, automation is not possible without integration. And what we see in the world today, because of the proliferation of AI, is automation becoming this enormous priority of our customers and our partners to really understand how all of these technologies that we would call the Boomi Enterprise Platform come together to allow our customers to actually orchestrate across the various categories: iPaaS, APIM, data management, AI, and actually unlock that sort of automation promise that we think is really right here on the horizon.
I think you just nailed it, Allison. We're at this. Everyone always talks about getting data and systems out of silos, but we're at an imperative juncture for that, because if you don't, you're not actually going to optimize your AI transformation, whatever that might be. And to your point, the automation can't be as effective if that's not a part of the deal. What is Okay, and oh gosh, the agentic conversation, just on that note, I have probably done 100 interviews in the last 30 days about agentic, and personally have reached a threshold of, well, if they're not already solving problems and doing things and you don't have a good example, we're not really going to talk about it. Like it's just, we're beyond that moment. What is something that a first time Boomi World attendee watching this video may not know about the show, but that you would like to share perhaps to get them excited?
So, well, let me think about that, because there's so many things that I'm obviously excited for everybody to see and understand. But I think the biggest thing for us is, to your point, we want to not only talk about the real world examples where the AI agents are being used, but we actually want to talk about an element of the AI and the agentic world that we think is incredibly important, right? The first is that, agents really are about making humans better. And this is a core part of Boomi's strategy. And we believe we can show and explain and articulate how our agents today and agents in the future are helping do that. But the other is, when you think about a world where there are hundreds, maybe thousands of agents across a variety of technology platforms existing within your company, the question becomes, how do I manage those agents? How do I confidently make sure that they are governed, that they work together, that there's oversight? And
Hmm.
so a really big part of Boomi's strategy that I think people are going to hear a ton about at the event is really this concept of agent governance and agent lifecycle management. And if you think about it, I'm not sure how we will be able to take advantage of all the benefits of agents if you don't also have this governance and management piece. And so for Boomi, really big part of our strategy, but actually really big part of the thing that we think our customers need to be thinking about while they figure out how they're taking advantage of all the benefits that agents could bring to their business.
It's that holistic view that's going to make this work. I mean, automation isn't as useful for you if you're not compliant and it's not secure, or there are so many different layers. That's why I think you're in a really unique position, and I'm not surprised to hear that you've been experiencing quite a momentous wave of growth lately, because I mean, if integration and automation is everything at the foundation of making this next build as successful as humanly possible, this has got to be a really special gathering for you personally, leading the marketing side. This must be like a big get together of you and all of your friends. What gets you most excited about the time we're about to have in Dallas, and how does it feel for you to be able to be in this environment with your whole community all at once?
Yeah, so last year when I talked to John during theCUBE, I was talking about the fact that it was actually the first in-person Boomi World since 2019. And, we all talk about the post-COVID world and et cetera, but here we are in 2025, and we're actually back to a place where not only do we want to bring people together, but we want them to have the kind of experience that they're clamoring to come back for year after year after year. And that means we have to provide a bit of a differentiated experience. It means the value that we have to provide around the sessions and the opportunities to network has to really be second to none. We know there are a million choices out there of places people can go. And so the thing I'm most excited about is really the opportunity to provide the experience, and also for our customers and partners and prospects to hear from us about why we're so excited about the future of Boomi. A lot has changed since I joined Boomi just a little more than 2 years ago. And we just are so enthusiastic about the opportunity in front of us and how we can partner with our customers to really help them take advantage of it. So I think just having people together and getting to talk about everything that has changed in the last year and all of the opportunity in front of us is the thing that I'm most excited about.
Oh, yes. I share that excitement with you and just the velocity that we are moving at and the speed of innovation. I look forward to learning from you and your team and all of your community. Last question for you, Allison. What do you hope the attendees and partners and sponsors say about the show when they head home on Friday? Or what do you hope they're texting their friend or telling their team in Slack afterwards?
I hope they're saying, we knew Boomi was great. We've been using them for a long time, but this is just more than I could have ever expected. Boomi has stepped forward as a really undisputed leader in AI and automation and integration. And I'm so glad I was there and didn't miss it.
Well, I suspect you've just predicted the response of all of the attendees. Allison, thank you so much for taking this time to preview the show. I cannot wait to spend the week with you and the entire Boomi team in Dallas.
Look forward to seeing you there.
Yes, and hopefully look forward to seeing all of you there, whether you're on the ground with us in Dallas or watching the live stream. We will be talking and engaging with those 1,200 attendees, those 250 partners, those 35 different sponsors, and all the other fantastic folks that will be in Dallas for the largest Boomi World ever here just shortly. My name's Savannah Peterson here in Palo Alto, California. You're watching theCUBE, the leading source for enterprise tech news.